The MTA's latest budget consideration for next year calls for higher fare hike than expected.
Okay, well, here we go. It appears that even more money will be needed in future years than was previously expected, which means bus and subway riders may have to keep digging deeper into their wallets, even if it's just a few cents. It is more. Fox 5's Briella Tomasetti is live in Columbus Circle with the details on the increase. Briella, how much are we talking about here?
Yeah, Dan and Tashani, good morning to the both of you. So riders are looking at a 15-cent increase. Again, not that much, but it does add up. And to paint a more comprehensive picture for you, over the past couple of years, the MTA got about $15 billion in federal pandemic-related relief funds to help balance its books. Now, $5.6 billion of that money still hasn't been touched, and yet the agency is grappling with a massive shortfall.
Service.
In remarks to reporters following yesterday's MTA board meeting, Chairman Janno Lieber stressed the importance of keeping mass transit running amid an impending financial crisis.
This is a plan that's designed to protect riders.
But the MTA's 2023 budget plan will also cost riders more money. The agency announced that it is considering a 5.5% fare increase for next year, much higher than the 4% increase that is already planned. That means riders would pay $2.90 a ride, up from the current $2.75 they pay now. And that still wouldn't be enough to make up for the pandemic-related deficits tied to a dramatic drop in ridership.
So this continued lower ridership as a result of the lasting effects of the pandemic, as we've discussed. This creates revenue shortfalls in excess of $2 billion per year from 2023 through 2026.
According to the MTA, current ridership is hovering at around 60% of pre-pandemic levels. Next year's forecast puts ridership at 69%, growing to 80% by 2026. Lieber says the only way to avoid drastic changes is with help from the feds, Governor Hochul, and Mayor Adams.
We could definitely avoid a fare hike if there is a plan, an answer coming from all of the decision makers, Albany, Washington, and City Hall, and maybe others.
Advocacy organizations seem to echo the same sentiments. In a statement provided to Fox 5, the Riders Alliance said, quote, in contrast to a fare hike, which would trigger a death spiral and devastate New York, more frequent service is the linchpin the governor needs to boost ridership, resilience, equity, and safety all at once. The Tri-State Transportation Campaign added, quote, this is not a problem that can be resolved overnight, but Governor Hochul and state leaders have failed to enact any meaningful solutions. In the meantime, board members brought up several concerns about the budget plan, one being that the MTA is asking all taxpayers in the state to contribute.
You're actually asking quite all of New Yorkers potentially, right, to pay for it, unless there's some other mechanism.
All right, and here's another thing to talk about. If the Federal Highway Administration approves congestion pricing in January, the MTA expects to start receiving $1 billion in annual revenue by the end of next year. Will that be enough, though? It remains to be seen. For now, it's the very latest live here in Columbus Circle. Dan, back to you.
Okay, Briella, thank you very much.